In this topic, you will learn how to define suppliers. Now, suppliers are those business partners from which you purchase products and/or services, and are available for selection in such functions as the orders function in the purchasing module, in supplier BP invoices function, as well as APAR accounting module. Now, when creating a supplier-specific record, you must select a supplier category which contains default settings that allow for more simplified entry. Also, if you're creating a supplier that has not been previously defined as a BP or business partner, the BP record is automatically created when creating the supplier. And information defined or modified for a supplier in a supplier's function automatically updates the corresponding BP record. Now let's take a look at the process of creating a supplier. Now, suppliers are created in common data in the BP's block at the supplier function. But as mentioned earlier, prior to creating a supplier, we need to create a supplier category, which is in the same BP's block. Supplier category allows you to set up defaults. Now, let's say you have a group of suppliers you're creating that provide computer-related supplies. They're all in North America. They all agree to set a authorized credit, purchasing limitations, delivery details, and also payment terms. And they're set here. All of them related, computer related, as far as the statistical groups that you can use. Authorized credit. On a commercials tab, we have the order details, delivery details, reporting details, financial, and also ranking information. So we take these details and are able to flow through to the supplier when you create the supplier. So let's select the full supplier function. Once opening the supplier function, you can see in the left list all the suppliers that are in the system. To create a new supplier, we click New, and then we enter a category, and we select the category that has been defined. And all the defaults come through, and you'll see that. Active when the supplier is ready for use, we enter in the ID for the supplier, a short description, and a name. You can see the country, language, and the currency have flown through. You can enter a site tax ID and also a SIC code. If the supplier is a physical person, you can check the box for physical. Enter site allows you to be able to transfer products easily from one supplier to the next, one location. The roles section, this supplier checkbox will be checked once created. Mailing prohibited keeps it from being part of a mail merge. Next, we enter the address. The address, you have to start off with a code. We enter our description, and then the address. The U.S. country gives you the U.S. format for the address. The postal code is in the table. If you enter the correct postal code, then the city and state will come up, as you can see here. The icon here allows you to load Google Maps, and the address will show up on Google Maps if it's valid. Website you can enter, external ID. You can enter many different addresses. One address has to be the default address. You can see you can enter multiple telephone numbers, also multiple email addresses. The commercials tab, you can see the defaults come through for the order details, restrictions. See where it said 10, quantity of 10 per order. The delivery details here as well. You can enter text on an order and text on a return by, in the right panel, selecting the text selection here for order or for return slip. Reports also that you generated by checking the box. You can have a special crystal report for those reports as well. On the management tab, you can see the defaults actually come through for credit, miscellaneous information, matching tolerance, which says that what I order has to be the amount received based on certain matching tolerance restrictions. You can put a payment on hold here. Also, you see the statistical groups details actually came through. You can have supplier notes by clicking this icon, go to supplier notes, be able to enter a supplier notes that will show up on what? transactions you decided them to show up on. On the financials, financial details have actually come through. Under BPs, the invoicing business partner and the address, the pay to business partner and the address. If I created a group, they could all be part of the same group with one pay to for all business partners. Accounting codes for financial transactions, the 1099s, the form that's going to be used, and the box for that form. This area allows you for European 1099s. Payment details actually come through, including the payment bank. Tax rule, you can see it is required to enter in a tax rule. You can exclude taxes from transactions or include. Analytical allows you to set default dimensions as well. The ranking tab, the ranking details come through from the category. The bank ID allows you to enter details regarding electronic banking. On a contacts tab, this is also contacts that show up in a table. You can actually select from the selections here, or you can create your own. You have to start off with an ID. So let's go ahead and select one. And you can see the details actually comes through. You can enter additional details as far as department, the role, the address. The address comes from the address tab. If the address was different, you would have had to enter it in on the address tab. You can enter a phone number, fax number, mobile number, mailing prohibited also, and one contact becomes the default contact. The next thing we do is create. Now on creation, you can see the supplier checkbox has been checked. And finally, as mentioned earlier, if we go to the BP's function, a record has automatically been generated in this function for our supplier. And now you know how to define a supplier, including the importance of the supplier category to make entry simple, as well as grouping suppliers. And that on creation, a business partner record is automatically generated.